All right, well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, wherever you are joining us from. My name is Dan Murphy. I am the Digital Communications Specialist here with Brown University's pre-college program. And tonight we're going to be discussing our largest summer program, the Summer at Brown program, as well as our student life experiences, both on campus and virtually. Before we begin, an agenda for an overview of tonight, we're going to do a quick overview of what Brown Pre-College is in general, a little bit more about how to apply, and then I'll introduce our guest speakers to discuss Summer at Brown and student life. We will then end with a Q&A. And this session should last about 30 minutes this evening. The session will be recorded, so if you miss anything or want to rewatch it, or you know someone who could not join us this evening and you want to share it with them, it will be uploaded to our YouTube page and on our website within the next week. We also have closed captioning available for you tonight, so if you need closed captioning, you can click on the CC button at the bottom of your screens. Ooh, there we go. As we're going around and talking this evening, feel free to use the Q&A chat function to submit any questions, and you can submit them at any point in the presentation tonight. So you can use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. And then I like to always remind people that all the information we're about to go over this evening is available on our website, and that is where we keep the most up-to-date information. So if you have not done so yet, definitely check out our website at precollege.brown.edu. So a little bit more about Brown Pre-College. Each year, we welcome more than 6,000 high school students who choose to spend part of their summer with us, exploring over 300 courses that reflect the Brown University open curriculum. I believe last time I checked, we're about 355 courses for this summer, which is pretty exciting. Brown Pre-College replicates the freedom and responsibility of the college experience. So if you come to Brown Pre-College, you will get that experience of college by balancing the challenge of college level academics with the enriching social activities that we have available throughout the summer as well, regardless of where you choose to study. Tonight, we are going to specifically be discussing the Summer at Brown program, which is our largest program, and student life, both on campus and online, which we will get to in just a moment. Regardless of which program you're interested in, the first step in your pre-college experience is going to be completing our application. This application is designed to mirror the common application used by many colleges and universities, and our application process will help prepare you for that college application process, including adding your transcripts and thinking through and crafting an essay based on a unique writing prompt. Our 2023 application is now live, and the application deadline is May 12th. Admission decisions are on a rolling basis, meaning that you will receive a decision via email, usually within 15 business days. Once you receive your admissions decision, you will then be able to enroll in any of the courses that we offer. Do note that many courses do fill quickly, so the sooner you apply, the greater the course selection that you will have. You can also find all the information that you need to submit for your application via our application checklist, which is available on our website on the apply button at the top. One quick reminder, because a common question we get is, am I applying to Brown Pre-College as a whole, or am I applying to a specific program? So when you are applying, you're applying to the Brown Pre-College program as a whole. So the first step is to apply to Brown Pre-College. Next, if you are admitted, you would then enroll in a course. And that's when you would be choosing the program or courses that you're interested in. So if you're interested in Summer at Brown, that's when you would enroll in a course that is available as long as you meet the age and grade eligibility requirements for it. And then you can find more information on our website about our program dates, our costs, and we do provide scholarship opportunities as well. You can find them all on our website by clicking on the Costs and Aid tab at the top of our website. So that's a little bit about Brown Pre-College in general. So I'm excited to introduce our guest this evening to talk a little bit more about the Summer at Brown experience and the student life experience. Yolanda Davis, the Assistant Dean of Pre-College Programs, and Brittanny Connelly, the Director of Pre-College Student Life. Hi, Yolanda, welcome.
Hi, Dan. Thank you so much for having us. So I'm so excited to hear about you all and what you're interested in via the chat, and also to actually meet you all this summer. So I'm the Assistant Dean for Brown Pre-College Programs, and the program directors and I are so excited as we're working with instructors to create some really interesting courses for you all. And so there are plenty of courses to choose from, and we're going to talk about them more in a little bit. I'll give Brittanny a chance to introduce herself as well.
Thank you, Yolanda. My name is Brittanny Connelly. I'm the Director for Pre-College Student Life. It's lovely to be with you this evening. Essentially, my team and we work to coordinate all of the outside of the classroom opportunities. So we'll get into it a little bit more as we continue with our webinar. Thank you and welcome.
Great, thank you to both of you. So let's start off with you, Yolanda. What is Summer at Brown, and what do you find most exciting about Summer at Brown courses?
Great question, Dan. Again, SummerBrown Brown is our largest pre-college program, and it represents most discipline areas at Brown, both online and in person, with the majority of our courses happening in person. Students have the opportunity to pick from about 350 courses. We're growing and growing every year. And those courses are about 1 to 6 weeks long. In 2002, we had about 6,500 students join us from over 74 countries and all across the United States, whether online or in person. A large population of our students are rising 10th graders through 12th graders. And every year we see the number continue to grow as more students share the great impact that our pre-college program has on them. What I find most exciting about the courses is that we literally have something for everyone, and students have the opportunity to learn from such diverse instructors and classmates. With so many instructors and students from different locations, backgrounds, and interest area, you'll join a community of people who bring broad and deep perspectives to learning together, and they do so while balancing rigor and fun, because you have to have fun while you're learning, right? As you browse through the course catalog on our pre-college website, you'll notice we have such a variety of courses in different discipline areas, such as engineering and technology, business, economics, legal studies, psychology, visual arts, and so much more. For example, students may take a 1-week course that's about presenting yourself in words, for instance, where students will draft, workshop, and revise their own original personal essays, while also reading and analyzing published essays in class discussions. Or they may even join a 3-week online course, such as racism and health, from a physiological to societal perspective, and learn about how racism can play a critical role in health outcomes for marginalized groups. I enjoy stopping by classes to hear students as they're actively engaging in class discussions and also group work, as well as just hearing about what did they learn during their studies. For our curriculum, we truly emphasize student-centered learning. And so having a diverse group of students and instructors really provides me an opportunity to see students challenge themselves as they think of new ways of approaching their learning and critically thinking about how the new insights impact themselves and the world around them. Students get a taste of what college life and academics is all about as they enroll in courses, again, from 1 to 6 weeks long, without the pressure of formal grades and credit. Those students do have the opportunity to earn a certificate upon successful completion of their courses. Overall, students have a chance to meet people from all over the world, and many of their classmates will become lifelong friends. When students are ready to go off to college, they will be much more familiar with what to expect. Summer at Brown is truly an exciting experience.
Great, thank you. Yeah, Summer at Brown is, definitely an opportunity, as you said, with lots of flexibility and opportunity for students to kind of find that passion area that they're interested in, and also do like 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, make it work for them for the summer. So thank you, Yolanda. Brittanny, what about, Summer at Brown, the outside of the classroom experience is exciting to you?
Yes, thank you for that question, Dan. I think probably the thing that I find most exciting about Summer at Brown is how it truly mirrors the college experience. So students will live in our residence halls on campus, eat in the dining halls, and experience the full spectrum of college life. College campuses are filled with wonderful resources and opportunities for engagement that enrich the overall experience, and this is definitely the case for our programs as well. By taking advantage of extracurricular activities and events, you'll be able to strengthen your connection to a robust community of peer scholars while developing important personal and social skills such as interpersonal communication and self-confidence and so many more. Starting from about 9 o'clock in the morning until our curfew at 10 p.m. at night, there's a wide variety of activities and events that are offered every day, and they fall into one of three overarching categories. So first, pardon my voice, it's a little squeaky today. First, there are educational and developmental workshops. We offer a series of workshops that are designed to help you prepare for the college application process, and that would include things like how to write a college essay, finding a college that's the right fit for you, financial aid, and a lot more. And we also offer workshops about leadership development, identity exploration, and opportunities to engage with student organizations connected to some of these important topics or some other areas of interest. Second, we have our mentor groups. In your mentor groups, you will build meaningful relationships with a diverse group of peers while discussing various transitional elements of college life. These conversations are led by either a graduate or undergraduate student who's well-versed in the various resources available on college campuses and who've also navigated that same process before. So you'll leave with some really concrete takeaways for how to make your transition to college as successful as possible for your unique circumstances. And lastly, it's really important, as Yolanda mentioned as well, that we take time to have fun. So every day we offer additional opportunities for students to socialize with friends, meet other students with common interests. And some examples of what those past events would include are things like bowling trips or board game parties. We have movie nights and recreational activities, things like ultimate frisbee or yoga or even Quidditch for our Harry Potter fans. And all of the planning and coordination of these events will be made with the consideration of the current health protocols and guidelines that are in place during the time that you're on campus.
Great, thank you. Definitely walking around campus this past summer, there was always something going on, always. So definitely take advantage of that if you come. Yolanda, can you talk a little bit about the difference in experience between the on-campus and online Summer at Brown programs?
Of course, I'd like to share some key differences. So I want to point out whether students take a course in person or online, they are truly in for a life-changing learning experience. And so when you're choosing between in-person and online, truly think about what is your particular learning style and what commitments and flexibility you may need during the summer, or you can take a class online and in person at different points of the summer. On-campus courses provide students the opportunity to physically engage in person with other students and to meet their instructors, as well as explore the campus when they are not in class. If students choose an in-person course, they will be required to attend their class for 3 hours, Monday through Friday, during the dates they are enrolled in the program, and can expect about 3 hours of studying outside of the class. All courses start at either 8:30 a.m., 12:15 p.m., or 3:30 p.m. Students have the opportunity to decide where on campus they want to study and at what time works best for them as they balance additional activities offered by our student life team, which Brittanny just gave you an insight into that. If students take an online course, they have 3 different types of courses to choose from: asynchronous, mostly asynchronous, or blended. If asynchronous, the course will be offered entirely asynchronously. Therefore, you can learn on your own daily schedule, allowing for the most flexibility and self-directed learning. If mostly asynchronous, the course will include a majority of asynchronous content and a few optional live sessions with your instructor and classmates each week to supplement your course material. If blended, the course will include asynchronous content and 1 to 3 pre-scheduled required live sessions each week. Again, I say the blended is required, so don't forget that if you're choosing between the online courses. These required live sessions are really important to the course experience. The times of these asynchronous sessions will be listed in the course meeting time, probably between April or May at the latest. When choosing an online course, students have the ability to learn from anywhere in the world and in any format that best fits them. Students practice self-discipline and personal responsibility as they are more control of setting the stage for when and how they want to learn and when they want this to occur. Whether in person or online, all students have the opportunity to join instructors for office hours, and I highly encourage you to take advantage of getting to know your instructors and making sure you have all of your questions answered as you embark on this new journey.
So Brittanny, Same question to you. How will the out-of-class experience differ and compare between online and virtual and on campus?
Thank you. Yeah, I love that question. So our staff in student life has approached the planning of the out of the classroom experience for our students who are enrolled in online courses exactly the same as we have for our on-campus students. And I'm really proud of the offerings that we've provided in past summers and how we're working already to enhance them for future summers. So most of the events and offerings that I mentioned in your response, in my response rather, to your last question, that really applies to our online students as well, with just obviously a slightly different delivery method, of course. Online students will be able to participate in educational and developmental workshops and webinars, and we focused on making these events really highly interactive and more engaging than a typical lecture style webinar. So our webinars include group discussion, live Q&A, and a lot of reflective activities to keep you engaged throughout. We also offer our mentor groups virtually via Zoom. So our student life mentor groups will provide opportunities for you to interact with a group of peers over the course of a few weeks. And at the conclusion of the 3 weeks, students should feel equipped with the tools necessary to navigate the college application process and to actively engage in life on a college campus. We also offer social events online, such as online trivia, movie watching parties, and other creative ways for students to interact with their peers from around the world. And we've had really great participation and feedback from these programs in previous summers, and we're really eager to build off of that momentum and offer a robust set of opportunities for those of you who choose to study remotely. We look forward to interacting with you in either format this summer, and I'm happy to hang back here and answer any questions that you may have about the out-of-classroom experience.
Great, thank you both. And you know, I'm just going to put a little plug, a little shout out there for people who are interested in what a day in the life looks like for someone who's on campus versus online, and that includes classes, but also student life experiences. We do have some of those videos from students from 2022 on our YouTube and Instagram page as well. So if you want to see a firsthand account of that as well. So we're going to now spend a few minutes doing our Q&A. So as a brief overview of Summer at Brown and the student life experience. So we see that a few of you have started to type in some questions. So if you have not already, definitely submit your questions below in the Q&A chat function. We'll try to get to as many as we possibly can. We also had quite a few pre-submitted questions. So I'm going to start with one of those first, and then we'll kind of rotate between that and the questions being asked live. So this question is for you, Brittanny, and I think this is probably one of the most common questions we get that was pre-submitted, and I'm sure is coming in tonight as well, is what do students do on the weekends? And are there additional off-campus excursions throughout the summer?
Yep, great question. I promise, I know I just talked all about the events and activities. They don't end on Friday evenings. They happen all throughout the weekend. So if you're spending time with us on campus, similar to everything that's happening from about 9 o'clock in the morning until curfew at 10 o'clock at night, that's still happening on the weekends too. But in addition to the programming, the activities and things that we're offering on campus, we do also offer opportunities for students to head off campus to either explore Providence, Rhode Island, or New England in general. Any of these excursions that happen, student life staff will accompany you on a trip that's planned. You'll sign up in advance and they'll head out to locations. Some places we've gone in the past have been the Museum of Science up in Boston, Block Island, the New England Aquarium. We'll do whale watching. And of course, being in the ocean state, we would be remiss not to offer plenty of trips to our local beaches.
Very nice. So Yolanda, this was another pre-submitted question. Are students able to connect with instructors outside of class time at pre-college? And are there office hours? And maybe like what happens during office hours if there are office hours?
That's a great question. Definitely there's office hours. Every instructor, whether you're learning online or on campus, you'll be able to attend their office hours, and they'll have that within their syllabus that you provided at the beginning of the course. So during office hours, it's really about the student. So thinking about what kind of questions do you want to further your thinking on? What did you learn in class that you say, you know what, I might not have understood this, or I understood it great, but I want to know about more resources. So really just taking the time to reflect on what do you need in that moment and making sure you take advantage of those office hours. Of course, you have your course time with your classmates and your instructor, but this is really a time where you can spend one-on-one with your instructor to really get to know your instructor and get to kind of pick their brain. Obviously, the subject in the class is something you're interested in, and they're an expert in the field. So you want to make sure you can get as much out of that knowledge as you possibly can.
Yeah, that's great. I remember using office hours in college all the time, and sometimes you forget that instructors are humans too. And so getting to know them and learning, how did they get to where they are is really helpful in your own journey as well. So very common question coming in tonight. This one's for you, Brittanny. Can you talk a little bit more about housing? How are roommates assigned? Just housing in general, any information you can provide.
Very popular question. So all of our students are housed in Brown University residence halls. And our residence halls are, we're an old campus, so all of our buildings are quite unique. So there's not a one size fits all. So every building is going to have a different layout and a variety of settings and room sizes. What you can expect is that you'll be assigned to either a single, a double, or sometimes a triple room. So if you're assigned to either a double or a triple room, that would mean you would have a roommate or roommates. And that would be an assignment that you would receive when you arrive to campus at check-in. And you would also find out your roommates when you arrive to check-in. In most cases, I would say that students are going to find that if they have a roommate, that roommate is within 1 year of their age. And you'll find that the other students living in your residence hall with you are on campus for a similar length of time. So if you're here to study for 2 weeks, the other students that are in your building are likely also here studying for 2 weeks.
Great. And a follow-up question, which I forgot to ask in there as well, is, well, 2 follow-up questions. One, housing related, can a student request a roommate? Like, can they choose their own roommates? And the follow-up question is, can you also talk a little bit more about dining, since the two are kind of related?
Yes. So in terms of requesting a roommate, that is not something that we offer. We really encourage students to take advantage of jumping in and immersing themselves in this experience. And part of that experience is going to be arriving and meeting new people and learning how to live with a new roommate. So it's not an option for students to request a roommate, but there are so many different things happening on campus that if you know someone who's also studying on campus, you're going to have plenty of time to see them outside of your room, doing activities, events in the dining hall, studying in the library. And you're also welcome to invite them over to your residence hall as a guest. And then to your question about dining, another very popular question. So in the same way that you're going to be living in the residence halls on campus, you'll be dining in the dining halls on campus. Most of our dining halls are spaces where it's an all you can eat. So once you swipe in with your ID card, as long as you stay in the dining hall, you can eat as much as you'd like. All of our dining halls will have a variety of offerings to meet any dietary restrictions or needs, be it, vegan, halal, kosher, etc. And in our main dining hall that students often frequent, because it's sort of in a central location on campus, the Sharp Refectory, also called the Ratty, you're going to find things like a salad bar, rotating daily specials, a burger bar, a pizza and pasta bar, a dessert bar, and one of student favorites is a soft serve ice cream machine. If you haven't, I know Dan made a plug earlier to check out the YouTube and Instagram page, but also if you want to check out TikTok and Instagram, we have a really excellent series called Ask an Advisor. And one of the latest episodes is sort of taking you around the Ratty so you can see what it looks like, see what some of the salad bars and food bars look like, and learn a little bit more about the food on campus as well.
Yeah, great, thank you. Looks like we've been getting a few questions about this, and I can take this, but Yolanda, please step in if you have anything else to add for this one. Do students take more than one course in the same session? So it sounds like to me almost like, can students take courses simultaneously? My understanding is that we don't necessarily recommend taking courses simultaneously at the exact same time just because of the course. You take 3 hours of the course every day, then you have the extra homework outside of that. You can absolutely take courses, if one session for 1 week, and then you want to take another one right after that for another week, absolutely. But I think at the same time, I think that depends on you and the course as well. Anything that you would say to that, Yolanda?
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't recommend taking more than one course. As Dan kind of explained, you're in your class for 3 hours a day, and then you have to do 3 hours of homework, and you want to take advantage of all these different activities that Brittany just explained to you all, and getting to know your classmates and different people on the program. And so taking one class at a time is preferable. Honestly, if you want to take more classes, just come back for the week after. And so as soon as you end one course, start another one, but don't try to really stress yourself out by taking multiple classes at once.
Great. Yolanda, this one's for you. Are there things I should consider when choosing a course? And do some courses have prerequisites?
Yeah, so as you go on our website that Dan showed earlier on our pre-college website, you'll see we have our course catalog. While you're on that course catalog, there's a description for every single course. And so as you're reading that description, it's going to give you some key insight into what that course is about. And it's also going to tell you if there is any prerequisites for that class. So for instance, if you need to bring a computer because you need a computer for the class, like a laptop, or if you need to buy a certain book or just different things. But for the most part, we try to keep it to a minimum for the prerequisites as possible because these are entry-level classes. But again, when you go into that course catalog, really make sure you take time to read the full description. Whether it's an online course or on-campus course, each one of those courses have a description that the instructor wrote themselves to really explain what are you going to engage in within that course.
Great, thank you. Brittany, this one has come in quite a few times and was definitely pre-submitted as well, can residential students leave campus?
Yes. So as I mentioned beforehand, this experience is really meant to reflect a typical college experience and help develop your independence. So with that goes, traveling off campus, being a part of you experiencing a typical college experience. College Hill, which is the neighborhood where our campus is located, has a lot of fun shops and restaurants and things for you to sort of a short walk from campus to enjoy. But our students are able to travel anywhere within the state of Rhode Island. I know that might sound like a lot and a little bit scary, but remember, we're the smallest state, so it's not that large of a radius. So you can travel anywhere within the state of Rhode Island without additional parental permission or guardian permission. But if you're looking to travel any further than that, or if you're looking to be away from campus overnight, that would require a form submitted and express permission from a parent or guardian at least 48 hours in advance. So regardless of where you're traveling, if you're just at a restaurant nearby, or if you're somewhere in the state of Rhode Island, or if you've traveled outside of the state with parental permission, you would need to be back for curfew every evening, unless, of course, you'd filled out that form requesting special permission to be gone overnight.
Great, thank you. Yolanda, this one's for you. A few questions about, roughly how large are class sizes?
Yeah, so our classes range from about 18 to about 36, depending on if you're on campus or online, with the average course being about 18. And so for on-campus courses, they tend to be a little bit smaller. For online, they tend to be a little bit bigger, but it really depends on the course content and the instruction that's happening. And so if you have a question about a particular class where you're like, hey, I'm really worried about if it's going to be too small or too big, you can definitely just email the program advisors and we can let you know like the average size of the class. But for the most part, they're usually around 18.
Great, thank you. And I want to be mindful of time. So this might be the last two questions that we'll take for the evening. So Brittany, this one looks like it's for you, is how do students arrive to campus?
So students are going to be responsible for coordinating their own transportation to and from campus. They probably take just about every mode of transportation except for maybe boat. Some students are flying into local airports like Boston Logan Airport or Providence's TF Green. Some students are being driven by their family members. We also have a bus station and a train station in Providence. So there's lots of different ways to get here to town. But regardless, you should really be coordinating with your family to get yourself to and from campus.
Yeah. And about 2 weeks out from your check-in weekend, you'll get more information about like the specifics of that weekend as well. Great. And then I'll take this one. I see a few of these questions coming in is, what will the considerations be for COVID this summer? Will vaccinations be required? All of that. We are still finalizing our health and safety protocols for the summer, and those will be released shortly. And they will mirror whatever the health safety protocols are for Brown University as a whole. But that information will be released soon. So I know we did not get to everyone's questions. We have a lot of questions coming in, a lot of great questions. And so I do want to put out there that if you have any questions that we were not able to get to, or you have follow-up questions, or you have a very specific question that pertains primarily to you, definitely reach out to us. Email us at precollege@brown.edu, or give us a call Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And one of our program advisors will be able to assist you. I've said this in every info session so far. Our program advisors are the encyclopedias of our department. They truly know the ins and outs of almost everything. So they can help you with whatever questions or inquiries you have, walk you through like what courses you might be interested in, or even if you're like, hey, I'm interested in this topic, would you be able to help me figure out what course is right for me? They can help you with those things. And then, as always, follow us on social media. We did just get TikTok, but we are pretty active, and we do like to showcase more of the student experience on there. So if you have not already, definitely follow us on there. But thank you again to everyone for spending this evening with us. Thank you again to our panelists, Yolanda and Brittanny, for joining me as well. We really appreciate it. And again, if you have any questions, follow up via email or give us a call. All right. Have a great evening, everyone.